Hey friends, I just want to talk about summer health today. I feel like we often just get way off track when it comes to our health, our movement, our nutrition, because we think we're going to be so healthy over the summer. And then halfway through the summer, we realize in some ways it's worse than it's ever been because we don't have a structured schedule and it's hot and we're feeling overwhelmed with different travel and things like that. But I have simple, easy hacks today that will help not only with your mental health, but with your physical health, incorporating that personal training aspect that I do. You're not going to want to miss this because these are easy, shame-free ways to improve not only parents' health, but family health as well. Hey parents, welcome to Fulfillment Therapy. Do you want to raise your kids better and have a stronger marriage? Are you up late at night researching marriage and parenting tools and self-care tips? Do you start each day hoping for deeper connections and less chaos, but it ends with family arguments and going 12 different directions again? My name's Kendra, wife, mom, therapist, and growth enthusiast. It wasn't until I discovered how to fulfill my unmet needs that I was finally able to show up as my best self, as a spouse and parent. I realized that by meeting my needs, I could more fully meet the needs of my family with more energy and less resentment. In this podcast, I teach parents skills like boundary setting, prioritizing personal needs, communication, and claiming ownership. Just like my clients, you'll be shocked by the improvement in your marriage, parenting, and personal life when you focus on fulfilling your important unmet needs. Ready to prioritize yourself so you can quit mentally throat punching people? Then grab those earbuds and head outside, and let's walk and talk. Welcome back, my friends. This is episode number 134. Ending Summer Strong. Easy fitness hacks for busy parents and families. Like I just mentioned in the teaser, summer can be a time when you think you're going to move a lot, you think you're going to do all of these great things, and then ultimately you find yourself indoors more because it's hot, or you find yourself eating things that you don't normally eat, just like convenience foods because you're traveling or you're at the beach or you're at the lake, whatever it is. And it's just a lot of that quick grab food that's very processed, and you're just finding yourself feeling gross, kind of bloated and just not yourself. And you want to feel good, especially as you're wearing less clothing, hopefully not way less clothing, but you want to take it up a notch without the shame, but in simple ways. And I just have I think I have like 15, maybe a little bit more super simple hacks for both nutrition and movement that really help families and that have helped my clients, not just my private practice or my coaching clients, but my personal training clients that I've had, or even just me and my friends, that what we do to improve our health. So I'm going to give you those simple hacks today and just talk a little bit about that. So let's talk about nutrition hacks first. This one has really been game-changing for me. So I mentioned, I don't even know how many episodes ago, that I have been off sugar. So I went off in February, and I have been doing it for quite a while now. And I have had to adjust it. Like, I've had to be flexible. So if this is you, and maybe you're not even totally off sugar, whatever the thing is that you're doing, one of the main things that actually works that I'd heard about a lot before, but I did not do, was to stock up on healthy snacks. And now I'm actually doing that. So I mentioned a long time ago in an episode, but use the yuca app. So I think it's YUCA or maybe YUCCA. I can't remember. Look it up in the App Store, and I think it just does have a 1C. But it is amazing. Every time I go to the store and I want to pick a new treat, I just scan the barcode and it will tell me how good it is. Like, you want it to be, I'll have to go back and look, but in the green, and I think it's like good or great or something like that. But if it's red or orange or something, you don't want it, and it will tell you exactly why, and then it will give you an option to swap out with that is better. And what I have found by doing that for several months now is that a lot of the healthier foods that I was having were not actually healthy at all. So I have learned to change what I've had. And some of them I'm actually pretty impressed the other way too, where I thought for sure it wouldn't be that healthy. And it's like incredible. For example, once I started going off sugar, when I went to the movies, I wanted to have something that I could still snack on to feel like I was getting a treat too. And there's these little gummies. I love gummies, but they're like these watermelon gummies. I should look it up. Anyway, they're in all the stores, but they're like the healthier sugar-free or like really low sugar snacks, like 1 gram of sugar, which honestly, your condiments and your bread and all of that has more sugar than that. So that to me is okay. It was amazing to eat and it was totally healthy for you, which really surprised me. So I don't have any guilt about that, but that really helps. So not only that, now that I've built up this list of about 15 things that I know are good choices and I know that I really like, I put them in my room, I put them in my office, I put them in different places in the house so that I don't go for those other things. And the more that I do that, the more I am not buying those other unhealthy snacks for my family either. And the fun thing is, once I went sugar-free, for a while nobody wanted to join me, but when they started to see my success, they came to me themselves and they were joining me. Like my husband is joining me, my exchange student, and the other ones are naturally eating better because I am not eating the way I once was. Okay, number 2, sneak in veggies. I know several of you do this, but I don't even really have to sneak them in anymore because I've been doing it for a while. But we definitely put greens in our smoothies. But I have also put it like grated carrots, or in any pasta dish, you can really blend any vegetables and put those in what you're making. But my kids like vegetables at this point, so it really doesn't bother them. But if your family doesn't like them, it's a great thing to do. It really doesn't take that much time to add it in. Okay, let's talk about adding more summer produce. This is the best time to add produce to your meals because people don't want those warmer, heavier foods. So just look up fun ways to make salad more exciting. Or we also love Buddha bowls, or those, I forgot what else they're called, but they like have a little quinoa in it or a little rice, whatever it is. But then you put like a bunch of greens and roasted vegetables and really like anything. It's kind of like a smoothie. You can put anything in it and it's good. And then we often mix out a sauce. They'll make a peanut sauce, or there's just so many different ones. Literally any kind of sauce you want, and then you just mix it in and it's so good. You can have a protein in there if you want. But I often have like avocado. It's just an easy way to get a lot of produce and make it more fun every single time. All right, so that was number 3. Number 4, hydrate consistently. Now, this is a very helpful hack that I've mentioned before, but I wish I would have done it earlier. I have a favorite water bottle. Mine is a Camelback. That's like the squeeze kind, because then I don't have to open the cap. I don't have to wash the straw, all those things. I get like 3 of those. So every time I'm at TJ Maxx or Ross, I look for those and then sometimes I stock up on them. But I get our favorite water bottles. We have them all over the house. I recognize it's one of those things. I don't care if I have to replace them. This is so important for us. And we only ever have water in our house. We always have a water bottle. So I put one in my office. I put one beside my bed on my little table, my end table. And I always have one in my car as well. Especially during the summer, I park in the garage so that doesn't get heated and gross. But that way, no matter where I am, I can quickly drink it. Oh, and I often do have one downstairs as well, actually. Number 5, opt for whole foods. So again, these slow, steady changes, like everybody knows that. Yes, I know I should opt for whole foods. But make those small changes to choose whole foods instead of those processed foods, because it really doesn't take much. I learned this from my exchange students. They really don't have a lot of convenience foods there. And for example, they don't just buy a jar of spaghetti sauce and they don't buy this or buy that, the frozen foods. They just make it. And in my mind, it just feels like it's so much bigger. But as you watch them cook, it's like 2 extra steps for most of things. And if you are taking turns making meals like we do in our family, from our 10-year-old to all of the adults, we all take a turn. But if you do that, then it's not so overwhelming to cook because everybody's taking a turn. And when you're cooking, you can just think, okay, how can I make this less processed? Not just those convenience foods, but using those whole food items and do it that way. There's so many free recipes everywhere online that you can check out. Like clean eating. I think there's one that I really liked was 100 Days of Real Food. They have a lot of great ideas too. Number 6, use smaller plates. This one definitely works, but we eat less when we have less on our plate. And what I also do is I keep the main food off the table to avoid those impulse seconds. But another possibility is you could dish up the plates and then put the food in the fridge before you sit down. So it's just that extra step that prevents you from doing something just because you're tired or overwhelmed or not really thinking about it and just going through the motions. The 7th one is a mindful eating. Slow down during your meals and make it like a fun experience. Like we often read scriptures together during family meals. We ask about the day. We just interact because this is our time, the one time a day when we're all around generally. And when we are doing those things, we pay more attention to our hunger cues and we slow down so we notice when we're full more. The 8th one I have for just the nutrition is, like I just spoke about, limit those added sugars. Start small by getting rid of those drinks that are so sugary, and then start to slowly change those desserts to healthier options and those processed snacks to something that you make and freeze. I do a lot of freezing. I found a really healthy muffin recipe and I just freeze a bunch of them and I just one at a time take them out as I need them. Sometimes my family eats them way too fast, so sometimes I have to put my name on it and tell them, hey, these are my healthy muffins with 0 sugar and I just need healthier snacks, so if you would please not eat those. Anyway, that's one possibility. Another thing is, now that more of them are doing what I'm doing, I have been experimenting with sugar-free recipes. I love chia pudding or healthy mug cakes, but you can swap out those things for like healthier flours, healthier natural sugars. Like I just put a little bit of honey or things like that where it still feels exactly like a snack, but it's not insanely sweet. Chia pudding is so simple. It's just almond milk and chia seeds. And then I add other things because I like it. I put a little bit of honey, but then I put unsweetened coconut. I put almonds or pecans. I put blueberries, and it is amazing. I love it. So little things where you just experiment with your family. What would be healthy? Okay, now let's move on to movement. I'm going to give you some movement hacks. Incorporate mini workouts. So break up those sedentary periods in your day with short bursts of physical activity. And I love this. I do this all the time. So this is like a 10-minute walk in my neighborhood. And you can take a set of weights with you. I often do 10-minute breaks to go with my kids on a quick bike ride around the block or around the neighborhood. They love that. It could be jump roping outside with your kids. It's like a 2-for-1. You're getting movement, but you're also connecting with your kids. So there's endless ways that you can do that. Go noodle, like YouTube videos, all of those things. There's so many fun things. Just quick breaks. Okay, so the next one kind of goes with that. This one is schedule active breaks. Take the time to stretch or walk around or do some sort of movement together or by yourself. This next one goes right in with what I just talked about. They're all combined, but involve the whole family. So this can be quick ones like 10-minute ones, but also bigger ones like hiking or biking or playing outside at the park. Number 12 is maximize daily chores. Turn your chores into opportunities for movement and make it fun. Like you can say, okay, we're going to have a contest for the next 15 minutes. Let's see who can get the most steps, and make sure they know that nobody's bad or wrong if they don't do it. Sometimes different personalities don't like that pressure. Or it can be whoever gets the most squats or whoever gets the most lunges while you're doing things like cooking or cleaning or doing laundry. I got my kids all those step trackers on their watch for Christmas so that we can see if we can make a goal every day and kind of keep that. Okay, especially during the summer, because winter is going to be here before you know it, and you're going to be so sad that you didn't take the opportunity to be mobile while you can. So take that chance to walk, to bike instead of driving whenever you can. I know some of you have like really little kids. It can be harder if you don't have ways to transport them all as easily, but when you can, make that a priority. Number 14, spend time outdoors. Prioritize that time. So that could be gardening, that could be going for a walk, that could be playing with your kids in the backyard. Also, number 15, use workout apps or online videos. Still, after all those ones that I've used, I prefer YouTube videos. There's just such a good variety that are free. So I do those probably 3 or 4 mornings a week, and I switch it up with my other workouts. But then I can search specifically what I want. Like, okay, today I'm going to look for exercise band workouts. Okay, now today I'm going to use dumbbells, or I'm going to do a HIIT, high intensity interval training workout. Things like that. You can be very specific on what you want and for how long. It doesn't have to be a huge amount of time. It can be 20 minutes. It can be 30 minutes, whatever you want. Okay, 16. I only have 3 left. Make it social. So, for example, today I'm inviting my friend Sherry, she's amazing, to go walking with me over by the lake near our house, and they have a great walking path, and I get a 2-for-1 in that as well. So socializing when I am around kids a lot, that's so nice for me to be able to break away and go with a friend, and to be in nature and to move. So it's so much nicer when you can do it with a friend, or you can join a fitness class, or whatever it might be, working out with a friend at the gym. And the second to last one is practice active hobbies. So that could be pickleball. Again, my plug for pickleball. That might be dancing. I have a friend that does that, and she has 2 kids and she loves it. Swimming. I love swimming at the Y with my kids. We do that often. Gardening, playing a sport, like going and playing tennis with my son. Whatever it might be, make it fun. And last but not least, number 18, focus on consistency. It is not about perfection, but it's about consistency. So prioritize that regular movement in your daily routine over those really intense, hard, lengthy workouts, because that's going to make it more likely that you'll do it until you're committed. My husband said the other day to our son, when he was asking me about scripture study, he said, "How are you reading your scriptures?" And he said, "No, I don't have time." And he's like, "No one has time to read scriptures." And I looked at him and I said, "No one has time to work out, because we all have our things that we're good at, but if it's a priority, we'll find a way." So no one has time to work out, my friends, but make time, because we all have time. So these hacks can help all of us, and I know we're all busy parents, prioritize nutrition and movement in our lives and promote that overall health and well-being for ourselves and our families. And this is going to set the stage for incredible exponential growth over time. I am forgetting the amount that it grows for the first time ever, but I love how James Clear talks about that 1% increase creates 37 times increase over a span of a year. Those tiny changes do matter. For example, my sugar changes. I feel like it's so slow sometimes, but those tiny adjustments, and then that like habit stacking that I'm doing, like, okay, now I can do this. Now I'm wanting to kind of start to phase out some of those fried foods, which we don't eat much, but when we go on dates, like I want to do that. But it feels so empowering that it's like you want to try the next thing and the next thing. And then all of a sudden, 10 years later, you realize you're a completely different person. So just remember that. No shame, just tiny incremental growth, my friends. Best of luck in changing your summer and ending strong as we move forward into a new phase of life with more structure and better results than ever as we make these changes now. Take care, my friends, and I'll see you back in a few days. Hey friends, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, chances are someone else would too. Would you take 30 seconds to share this with a friend who's looking for greater family fulfillment? And while you're sharing, tell me what you think about the show by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. It refuels me when I hear this podcast is helping you. No matter what your house or your hair looks like, I'll meet you back here every Monday and Thursday morning for more episodes. Until then.